listen closely, because what I am about to share with you has the power to completely transform your life. Most people spend their days chasing money, running after opportunities, and struggling to survive. But they never realize that wealth is not something you find outside of yourself. It is something you first create within your mind. A poor mindset will keep you poor even if you suddenly receive riches. And a rich mindset will attract wealth to you even when you start with nothing. Money is not just coins, bills, or numbers on a screen. Money is energy. Money is flow. Money responds to the way you think, the way you act, and the way you carry yourself. That is why two people can start with the same resources. One ends up bankrupt, and the other builds an empire. It is not about luck, not about inheritance, not about chance. It is about the habits that shape your mindset. You see, the mind is a magnet. If you feed it doubt, fear, and scarcity, you will repel wealth, no matter how hard you work. But if you feed it vision, discipline, and abundance, you will draw prosperity into your life like steel to a magnet. The greatest mistake most people make is thinking money begins in the wallet. No, money begins in the mind. So today, I will take you on a journey into the 7 powerful habits that will build your money mindset. These are not tricks, not shortcuts, not empty promises. These are eternal principles that will reshape the way you look at money, the way you handle money, and the way you attract money. If you live these habits, you will rise above limitation and step into the flow of abundance. But before we go deeper, I want you to ask yourself something. What do you really believe about money? Do you see it as something scarce, always slipping away from your hands? Or do you see it as something abundant, flowing freely in this world, waiting for you to step into alignment with it? The answer to that question will reveal more about your financial future than your bank account ever could, because your beliefs are the foundation of your destiny. The first habit to build a powerful money mindset is discipline. Wealthy people are not necessarily the smartest, the most talented, or the most connected, but they are disciplined. They master themselves before they master the marketplace. They control their impulses, their desires, their emotions. Because money flows to those who can control themselves. When you lack discipline, you spend recklessly, you chase quick pleasures, you invest in things that bring no return. You waste hours, you waste energy, and you waste money. But when you cultivate discipline, you become a master of your future. Every dollar you save, every investment you make, every wise decision you take compounds like a seed in fertile soil. One day, it multiplies into something greater than you could imagine. Think about it. How many people win the lottery and lose it all within years? How many athletes earn millions but end up broke after retirement? It is not because they lacked money. It is because they lacked the mindset. And without the right mindset, money slips through your fingers like sand in the wind. The second habit is vision. You cannot build wealth if you do not know where you are going. Most people want money, but they cannot answer why. They say, I want to be rich, but they have no clear vision of what that richness means. Do you want freedom? Do you want security? Do you want to create something lasting? Do you want to give back? To leave a legacy? Without vision, money is meaningless. It becomes paper with no purpose. Vision gives money direction. Vision turns every dollar into a soldier working for your dream. Vision gives you the courage to sacrifice today for tomorrow because you know what you are building. Wealthy people see beyond the moment. They see years ahead. They are not trapped by temporary comfort. They are focused on permanent growth. They endure short-term pain because they see long-term gain. They plant trees under whose shade they may never sit because their vision extends beyond themselves. The third habit is learning. You cannot grow your money mindset if you remain ignorant. Knowledge is the seed of wealth. The moment you stop learning, you stop earning. The world is full of opportunities, but only those who educate themselves recognize them. The ignorant walk past gold, calling it dirt, while the wise bend down and collect it. Invest in yourself. Read books. Study the lives of successful people. Learn about money, about investments, about business, about markets. Learn not just from schools, but from life. Learn from mistakes, from failures, from mentors. Because money will not stay with those who do not understand it, but it will multiply in the hands of those who respect it and study it. The poor mindset says, I already know enough. The wealthy mindset says, there is always more to learn. The poor mindset avoids discomfort, while the wealthy mindset thrives on challenges because every challenge is a lesson. The more you learn, the more you expand your vision and the more opportunities you see. Now, I want you to understand something very clearly. Wealth is not a result of chance. It is a result of choice. And those choices are shaped by habits. The difference between a person drowning in debt and a person walking in abundance is not just their circumstances. It is their mindset. And that mindset is built day by day, choice by choice, habit by habit. Pause for a moment and think about your own life. What habits are you living by right now? Are they habits of poverty or habits of wealth? Do you spend before you earn? Or do you save before you spend? Do you work for money or do you make money work for you? Do you waste time in distractions or do you invest time in building yourself? These are the questions that reveal the truth. We are just beginning, but already you can feel it. The shift in your mind, the spark of awareness, the hunger to rise. And that hunger is the fire that will fuel your journey. The fourth habit is association. Who you spend your time with will shape your mindset more than you realize. If you surround yourself with people who complain, who blame, who constantly talk about what they don't have, then you will unconsciously begin to live the same way. But if you surround yourself with people who think big, who dream, who take action, who speak possibility instead of limitation, you will rise with them. Money is a reflection of energy, and energy is contagious. When you sit with those who are always negative about money, their fear becomes your fear. When you sit with those who respect money, manage it wisely, and think abundantly, their wisdom becomes your wisdom. Never underestimate the influence of your circle. It is said that your income is the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Think about that carefully. Who are your 5? A powerful money mindset requires courage to walk away from environments that keep you small. Sometimes you must detach from old friends, old habits, even family members who pull you into cycles of scarcity. You are not betraying them by choosing growth. You are simply choosing to break the chains of limitation. When you rise, you show others that they too can rise. But you cannot rise if you are always chained to the ground. The 5th habit is discipline of language. The words you speak shape your reality. Many people curse themselves without even realizing it. They say things like, I'm broke, I can't afford this, money is hard to come by. These words sink into the subconscious mind and become self-fulfilling prophecies. The more you say them, the more you believe them, and the more they shape your life. Instead, the wealthy mindset uses words of power. I am capable of creating wealth. I am learning to manage money wisely. Opportunities flow to me. These are not empty affirmations. They are declarations that reprogram your mind. The subconscious cannot resist repetition. Whatever you feed it consistently becomes your reality. So guard your tongue, because it is the doorway to your destiny. The sixth habit is patience. This is where most people fail. They want instant gratification. They want wealth now, success now, reward now. But true wealth is not built overnight. It is built brick by brick, layer by layer, day by day. Impatience destroys more dreams than failure ever could. Think of the farmer. He plants the seed and waits. He waters, he tends, he protects, but he does not dig up the seed every day to check if it has grown. He understands that growth takes time. The same is true with money. If you invest today, if you save today, if you build today, you may not see results immediately. But over time, with consistency, the harvest will come. The poor mindset cannot wait. They chase schemes, shortcuts, gambling, quick profits, and they end up losing more than they gain. But the wealthy mindset has patience. They know compounding is the eighth wonder of the world. Small actions today become extraordinary rewards tomorrow. The seventh and final habit is service. This may surprise you, but true wealth is never built on selfishness. Money flows to those who create value, who solve problems, who improve the lives of others. If your only goal is to take, you will always feel empty. But if your goal is to give, to bring solutions, to create opportunities, to serve others, you will never lack. Wealthy people understand this. They focus not on chasing money, but on creating value. The more value they give, the more money flows back to them. Think of every great business, every invention, every service that has built fortunes. At the core, it was about helping people, meeting needs, providing solutions. The wealth was simply a reward for the service rendered. Service aligns you with abundance, because abundance is about flow. What you give comes back multiplied. What you withhold out of fear eventually slips away. That is why the wealthiest minds are also the most generous minds. They know the secret: giving does not diminish you, it expands you. Now pause and imagine your life with these 7 habits deeply rooted within you. Discipline guiding your choices, vision shaping your direction, learning sharpening your wisdom, association elevating your environment, language creating your reality, patience sustaining your journey, and service opening the floodgates of abundance. Can you feel the shift? Can you see the transformation? This is not theory. This is truth. You must live it, breathe it, embody it. Wealth is not waiting for you in some distant future. It is waiting for you to shift your mindset, to step into alignment, to rise into your power. And here is the most important thing: start today. Do not wait for perfect conditions. Do not wait for more money, more opportunities, or more resources. Begin with what you have. Build the habits now and watch as the universe bends in your favor. Every moment you delay, you train your mind to remain the same. Every moment you act, you train your mind to grow. Understand this: wealth is not a destination, it is a discipline. It is not something you stumble upon, it is something you cultivate. The ground of your life will produce according to the seeds you sow, and the seeds are your habits. But let me take you even deeper. A money mindset is not just about numbers, it is about identity. If you see yourself as someone unworthy of wealth, someone destined for struggle, someone chained to scarcity, you will sabotage yourself even when opportunities are at your doorstep. But if you see yourself as someone capable, someone worthy, someone designed to rise, then even in deserts you will find rivers, and even in darkness you will find light. The world will test you. It will tempt you to doubt. It will whisper, "You are not enough." Wealth is not for people like you. Stay where you are, accept less, be content with scraps. But the truth is this: nothing is stopping you except the chains of your own mind. Break them, and you will break into abundance. Think of history. Every great builder, every innovator, every person who shifted their family's destiny began not with wealth, but with mindset. They began with vision in their heart, with courage in their soul, with discipline in their actions. And slowly, steadily, their outer world rose to match their inner world. Let me tell you a secret: the mind cannot distinguish between reality and belief. If you truly believe you are wealthy, your actions will align, your energy will attract, your decisions will reflect it, and reality will eventually conform. But if you believe you are poor, if you constantly identify with lack, then your actions, your energy, and your results will reinforce that belief. This is why gratitude is so powerful. Gratitude is the training ground of abundance. When you are grateful for what you already have, you affirm to your mind that you are already rich, and the mind that feels rich will attract more richness. On the other hand, when you complain, when you focus on what you lack, you affirm poverty, and poverty multiplies. Do not misunderstand me. Gratitude is not passivity. Gratitude is not saying, "I am content with little, so I will never seek more." No, gratitude is saying, "I honor what I have, and because I honor it, I will multiply it." Gratitude is the soil in which seeds of wealth grow. Without it, even great opportunities wither. With it, even small opportunities flourish. You must also understand the difference between working for money and making money work for you. Most people are trapped in the first category. They trade hours for dollars, effort for wages, and they remain in an endless cycle. But the wealthy mindset learns how to make money a servant, not a master. They invest, they build systems, they create streams of income that flow even when they sleep. But here is the catch: you cannot reach that level until you build the foundation of discipline, vision, learning, association, language, patience, and service. Because without those, any money you gain will be like water in a broken jar. It will leak away, leaving you empty again. Think of patience once more. You must fall in love with the process, not just the prize. If you despise the small beginnings, you will never see the great endings. Wealth is not a straight line. It is a curve built by persistence. Every day you save, every day you invest, every day you learn, you bend that curve upward until one day it explodes into exponential growth. That is the magic of compound effort. And do not underestimate the habit of service. This is where the deepest fulfillment lies. Money alone will not satisfy you. It can buy comfort, but it cannot buy meaning. Meaning comes from impact. Meaning comes from knowing that your wealth is not only for you, but also for the lives you touch, the opportunities you create, the doors you open for others. When you live this way, wealth becomes not just financial, but spiritual, emotional, and generational. Remember this truth: poor people think about survival, middle-class people think about comfort, but wealthy people think about legacy. Survival ends with you, comfort ends with your lifetime. Legacy continues long after you are gone. That is the true measure of a powerful money mindset. So I ask you now, what legacy will you leave? Will you pass down fear, debt, and struggle? Or will you pass down wisdom, abundance, and strength? Will your name be remembered as one who settled for less, or one who rose above, one who transformed not only their own life, but the lives of generations to come? The choice is in your hands, not tomorrow, not someday, now. Because every habit you live today is carving the road of your future. Every decision, every thought, every action is a brick in the house of your destiny. Do not wait for wealth to come to you. Build it in your mind and then watch as it manifests in your reality. Discipline yourself. Sharpen your vision. Commit to lifelong learning. Surround yourself with greatness. Speak with power. Walk with patience. Live with service. And you will not only attract wealth, you will become wealth. Wealth is not only counted in currency, it is counted in choices. The power to decide where you live, how you spend your time, what you give your energy to, and what future you create for yourself and for those who come after you. That is why building a money mindset is not just about money, it is about freedom. And freedom is the highest form of wealth. But freedom does not come to the careless. It does not come to the undisciplined. It does not come to those who live only for today and forget tomorrow. Freedom bows only to those who have trained their mind, shaped their habits, and mastered their desires. If you do not master your desires, they will master you. And when they master you, they will rob you of wealth, of peace, of power. Look at the world around you. How many people spend years working but have nothing to show for it? They earn, but they spend. They save, but they waste. They plan, but they procrastinate. Not because they lack opportunity, but because they lack mindset. Do not fall into that trap. Do not let the story of your life be one of wasted years and empty dreams. Let it be a story of transformation, of how you rose, of how you conquered your own limitations, of how you turned habits into wealth and wealth into freedom. The wealthy mindset does not see money as an end goal. It sees money as a tool to build, to grow, to create, to bless. If you chase money for its own sake, you will always feel restless. But if you use money as a tool for vision, for service, for legacy, then you will feel fulfilled. Because true wealth is not measured by what you keep. It is measured by what you create. And this creation begins in silence, in those small, unseen moments when you choose discipline over impulse, patience over instant gratification, learning over ignorance, gratitude over complaint. Those moments may seem small, but they are the foundation of greatness. People will only see the mansion, the success, the freedom, but they will not see the countless small choices that built it. Yet those small choices are where true power lies. I want you to imagine a mountain. From a distance, it looks immovable, unreachable, unconquerable. But step by step, with focus and consistency, you climb. And one day, you stand at the top, looking down at the path you conquered. Wealth is the same. From the bottom, it feels impossible. From the middle, it feels exhausting. But from the top, it feels inevitable, because you realize it was always within your power. But you must protect your mind. You must guard it like a fortress, because the world will constantly try to infiltrate it with scarcity, with fear, with doubt. You will hear voices say, "It's too hard, it's too late, it's not for you." And if you allow those voices to settle in your mind, they will destroy you before you even begin. Shut those voices down. Replace them with a louder voice that says, "I am capable, I am worthy, I am destined for more." Do not fear failure. Failure is the tuition you pay for wisdom. Every mistake is a lesson. Every setback is a teacher. Every loss is a seed for future gain. The poor mindset sees failure as the end. The wealthy mindset sees failure as feedback, and those who learn from feedback grow faster, rise higher, and achieve more. Time is also wealth. Do not waste it. Do not trade it for things that do not bring value. Every moment you spend in distraction, you rob yourself of compound growth. But every moment you invest in learning, in building, in creating, in serving, you multiply your future. Money can be lost and regained, but time, once it is gone forever. Treat your time as treasure, and you will build wealth not only in your bank account, but in your soul. And understand this: wealth begins in the unseen. The greatest shifts happen not when others are watching, but when you are alone. When you choose to read instead of scrolling. When you choose to save instead of spending. When you choose to invest instead of consuming. When you choose to keep moving even when no one is cheering. These invisible victories create visible success. Picture this: a young man working long hours at a job that barely pays enough to cover his rent. Every day he comes home exhausted, frustrated, wondering if life will ever change. And then one day, instead of collapsing in front of the television, he picks up a book about personal finance. He reads one page, then another. He takes notes. He begins to apply what he learns. He starts saving, even if it is just a few coins. He cuts wasteful habits. He begins to think differently about money. Months pass. His savings grow. His understanding grows. He takes on a small investment. He learns from it. Years later, that same man owns businesses, properties, streams of income. What changed? Not his job, not his luck, his mindset. This is the power of habit. Habits may feel invisible, but they carve your destiny. Every coffee you skip to save, every book you read instead of wasting hours, every time you speak abundance instead of scarcity, you are building a new future. The future is not built in sudden leaps, it is built in daily steps. But let me warn you, mediocrity is a powerful enemy. It whispers, relax, you've done enough, you deserve comfort. Don't push too hard. Mediocrity is the soft voice that lulls you into staying the same. Wealth is never born in comfort zones. If you want to rise, you must stretch. You must walk into discomfort. You must be willing to do what others refuse to do. The habits of wealth often feel uncomfortable at first, but that discomfort is the birthplace of transformation. Think of discipline again. It is not glamorous. It is not exciting. It often feels boring, but it is powerful. Discipline is saying no when everyone else says yes. Discipline is delaying pleasure so that you can have freedom. Discipline is building structure when others live in chaos. And though it feels heavy in the beginning, it feels liberating in the end. And vision is the fire in the dark. Without it, you will give up when the journey becomes hard. But when you have vision, even your pain has purpose. Even your struggle becomes fuel. Vision gives you strength to rise early, to stay late, to keep going when results are invisible. Wealthy people do not move only by what they see, they move by what they believe. Learning is another fire. Knowledge sharpens your tools. The world is constantly changing. Industries rise and fall. Technologies transform overnight. If you are not learning, you are falling behind. But when you are learning, you are always adapting, always ahead, always ready. Do not wait for the world to hand you answers. Seek them, dig for them, pay the price of growth. Association is protection. If you walk with the blind, you will stumble. If you walk with the wise, you will rise. Do not underestimate the pull of your environment. One friend who mocks your dreams can poison your spirit. One mentor who believes in you can set your life on fire. Choose carefully. Your circle is your mirror. You will become what you surround yourself with. And words, your language, are seeds. Every time you say, I am broke, you plant poverty in your mind. Every time you say, I am learning to grow wealth, you plant prosperity. Speak carefully, because your words will either chain you or free you. Patience, patience is the bridge between seed and harvest. Many quit too early. They dig up their seed before it grows. They say, it's not working. When the roots are still forming beneath the soil, do not quit in the waiting. Do not abandon the process. Trust that every wise action compounds, even when you cannot see it yet, and service. Never forget this. Money is a shadow of value. If you chase the shadow, you will always miss it. If you focus on creating value, money will follow you. The most powerful question you can ask is, how can I serve? How can I solve? How can I give? The answers to those questions are where wealth is born. So I challenge you, now reflect deeply. Which of these 7 habits is missing from your life? Which habit do you need to strengthen today? Because until you act, this is only knowledge, and knowledge without action is wasted potential. The moment you live it, it becomes power. You do not need to wait for the perfect time. You do not need to wait until you are older, richer, smarter. You need only to begin. Begin small if you must. Begin imperfect if you must, but begin. Because every journey of greatness began with a single step, and your step begins now. Do you know why most people never experience true abundance? It is not because they lack opportunity, intelligence, or strength. It is because they quit too soon. They dig for gold, they sweat, they labor, and when they are inches away from striking treasure, they give up and walk away. They never realize how close they were. Wealth is not for those who dabble, it is for those who endure. Endurance is what transforms ordinary effort into extraordinary results. Anyone can work hard for a week, for a month, for a year, but can you stay consistent for 5 years, 10 years? Can you remain patient while others laugh, while others doubt you, while others enjoy temporary pleasures that you sacrificed? That is the test. That is where the wealthy mindset is forged, in the furnace of patience and endurance. But do not think patience means waiting passively. Patience is active. It is sowing every day, watering every day, preparing every day, even when the harvest is not yet visible. It is building in silence while the world sees nothing. And one day, suddenly, the world sees everything. People call it overnight success, but you will know it was years of invisible patience. I must tell you this truth: if your vision is small, your wealth will be small. A mind that thinks only of survival will never rise beyond survival. A mind that thinks only of comfort will never taste freedom. But a mind that thinks of legacy, of impact, of greatness, that mind becomes unstoppable. You must stretch your vision beyond your own needs, beyond your own lifetime. When your vision is bigger than you, wealth will chase you, because wealth is attracted to purpose. Purpose is magnetic. A person with purpose cannot be ignored. They may be underestimated, they may be resisted, but they cannot be ignored. People are drawn to them. Opportunities find them. Money flows to them. Because purpose gives clarity, and clarity is rare in a world full of distraction. If you want to build wealth, ask yourself not only, how much do I want to earn? But also, why do I want to earn it? Who will benefit from it? What will it create? When your why is powerful, your how will appear. And let me remind you, wealth is not selfish. The poor mindset says, if they have more, I will have less. But the wealthy mindset knows the truth by abundance expands. One person's wealth does not reduce another's. It creates more opportunities, more jobs, more circulation of energy. Do not envy wealth. Study it, learn from it, honor it. Because what you resent, you repel. What you respect, you attract. This is why gratitude is so vital. Gratitude shifts your energy. When you wake up and say, I am grateful for this day, for this chance, for the resources I already have, you train your mind to see possibilities. But when you wake up and complain, I never have enough, life is unfair, everything is hard, you blind yourself to opportunities that may be right in front of you. Gratitude is the lens through which abundance becomes visible. Now, let us return to association. This habit can lift you higher than you ever dreamed, or it can chain you lower than you ever feared. Do not spend your days in rooms where dreams are mocked, where laziness is celebrated, where growth is despised. If you do, you will shrink to fit the room. Place yourself instead in rooms where people challenge you, where they inspire you, where they push you to think bigger. Yes, it may feel uncomfortable. Yes, it may feel intimidating, but discomfort is proof that you are growing. Do not be afraid to walk alone for a while. Sometimes the path of wealth and growth requires solitude. Sometimes you must let go of hands that pull you backward. Loneliness is temporary, stagnation is permanent. Better to walk alone toward abundance than to walk with a crowd toward poverty. And when you finally begin to rise, do not hoard your wisdom, share it, teach it, multiply it. Because when you lift others, you strengthen yourself. A wealthy mindset knows that success is not a race. It is a ripple. Every life you touch, every person you help, every seed you plant expands your own abundance. Service is not charity, it is strategy. It keeps the flow of energy alive. Money must move, value must circulate. The more you release, the more returns to you. Let me give you a vision. Imagine waking up one morning free from the chains of financial fear. Your bills are paid. Your future is secure. Your time is your own. You no longer work because you must. You work because you choose. You are free to create, to travel, to give, to live fully. That is what a money mindset creates. It does not simply give you money. It gives you freedom. And freedom is the true measure of wealth. Without it, money is only numbers. With it, money becomes life.